I grew up in a Christian family. I was one of four siblings, and I had a good Christian upbringing. It was around about the age of 16 that I started to look around and think, there's got to be more to life than this. I just felt that I wanted more excitement from life than I was getting. There were certain friends that I had in friendship groups who seemed to be having a lot of this excitement in their lives. When I started hanging around with them, it all started in a rather mild sense of fun. We were doing things like drinking and smoking. Then from there, it went very quickly downhill, indeed, and it moved on to drug taking at the weekends. And actually, I started to far exceed what I had done before, and I very quickly realized that actually, when the people that you're hanging around with, who you considered a little bit crazy, start looking to you as being the crazy one, that you realize you're in quite a lot of trouble. I wanted to take drugs all the time. With that led to getting involved in crime as well, and then from there it just got even worse. And I didn't think it could get worse from that point, but it's amazing how far you can plummet in such a very short space of time. I just felt too ashamed to ask for any help, and at times I just thought, I just don't want any help anymore. I just felt that the brakes had come off and I was just going to let this train run its course. I remember the time when I was sat on my own, and there were thoughts in my head that I'd hurt so many people so badly. People that really I truly cared about, that I wondered if it would be better if I should take my own life. And that was when I realised that I just had to change. Things had to change, and they had to change straight away. So it was about that time that I cried out to the Lord and said, look, Lord, something's got to change. I really need help. And a friend of mine who was in a very similar situation as me started to get help, and it was working as well. And I realised through that help that there was hope for me as well. And that was a great comfort to me. And I started to take that path as well. I took the same path as he did and started to get some help from a very kind group of Christians who specialised in this type of rehabilitation, really. So I did that for around about 2.5 years, and it was through that period that my life really started to change. It was during that time that I encountered God in many different ways, and he gave me freedom in areas of my life that I'd struggled with over the years, that I'd never experienced before. And it was through that I felt a huge weight and pressure had been lifted off my shoulders, and it started to help me live a lot more freely than I'd ever done before. So my life now is completely different from what it used to be. The relationships that God has restored in my life that seemed irreparable before have been. I have a wife and children, and just the blessings that I experience are all down to God. And what I thought that I'd completely destroyed in my life, it actually turned out it wasn't destroyed at all, and the Lord has restored it to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not the finished article, just ask my wife. But it's a process, it's a journey, but it's a journey that I'm enjoying a lot more than I did previously, that's for sure.